2018 is just weeks away, and we're giving the candidates the opportunity to talk to you. So every day this week, we'll be airing one-on-one interviews, starting with Republican candidate for governor Brad Little.
Well, let's get back to this, and we're talking with Lieutenant Governor Brad Little. He is the Republican nominee for the office of governor in the fall election. Let's talk about Proposition 2, the ballot initiative to expand Medicaid. Would you accept that? Do you agree with expanding Medicaid? Would you accept this ballot if it passes by the people?
Well, I've already stated that if it passes, and the governor doesn't do anything if it passes. If it passes, it's law. But I did state that there was indication in the primary that there might be an effort to just repeal it. And I said I would not do that. I would not sign a repealer. But two things. A, we almost always adjust Medicaid every year. Last year we offered dental benefits that weren't there before. We always want to make Medicaid efficient to where it literally helps the people that need to be helped. Ever since Obamacare passed, our delivery of health care has had problems because the cost has gone up almost 100% to an individual that has to buy a plan. And then we've got these people in this gap that the legislature over and over, and the governor agreed, it's not fair. There's the people that are covered by current Medicaid, and then there's the people that get a big tax subsidy, and this proposition is addressing those people in between. If I would have had my druthers, I would have done it another way, but the people have the right to do this, and I will support it if it becomes law.
So you wouldn't support legislation to repeal it?
No.
Okay. A more open question is, why are you the best qualified person in this race?
Well, I have a record. I have a record in business. I have a record in service to a variety of different organizations. I have a record in the Idaho legislature where I served in leadership. I have a record as lieutenant governor. I think you take and total all those records up, that my resume and my enthusiasm for this job is ample evidence that I'm the most qualified candidate. And I think a lot of it is just the fact that I really, really want to do this job.
Your opponent seemingly came out of nowhere without any real establishment support in her party and won. Do you think these midterms, this particular election, do you think there's a lot of potential for disruption, unexpected stuff? I mean, you're obviously the favorite. Nonetheless, what do you think?
Well, I see it all over the nation. I see candidates that under perhaps a different time would have been the odds-on favorite to win. And I think a lot of it is what's taken place, nationally. The fact that in Idaho, the two leading Republican candidates were Ted Cruz and Donald J. Trump. Both of them were disruptor. In the Democratic Party in Idaho, it was Bernie Sanders. But in Idaho's, when you look at Idaho and you look at where we are as far as income growth and opportunity and fiscal solvency and all the things that are causing disruption in these other areas, I think in Idaho, the trajectory that we have, that doesn't mean we don't want to increase the trajectory or adjust it, bodes well compared to a brand new candidate coming in from somewhere else.
And that's what you were saying, that your record of service, which dates back to when? When did you first go into the legislature?
Well, I went in the legislature in about 2000, but it was, what I was doing representing my fellow agriculturalists in business. And, I've always, wherever I got for one reason or another, I always ended up in leadership. And that's, I think that, and knowing Idaho, the complexity, the diversity of Idaho, it's really important that the governor that resides here in Ada County and in Boise, that they can relate to people all over the state of Idaho.
To hear his entire interview, you can go to idahonews.com and click on the Politics tab at the top of our homepage, and then click on Know Your Candidates. Now, coming up at 4:30, you'll be hearing from the Democratic candidate for governor. That's Paulette Jordan. CBS2, idahonews.com, and 670 KBOI are giving you the opportunity to hear from the two people who want to lead Idaho into the future. Brad Little and Paulette Jordan will debate Saturday, October 13th at 11 a.m. You can watch the debate live on idahonews.com or on the KBOI2 Facebook page. You can listen to it live on 670 KBOI radio. CBS2 will air the debate commercial-free Monday, October 15th at 4 p.m. To learn more about the issues on the ballot, you can always go to idahonews.com.